What the fuck are you? What kind of contraption's going on over here?
So this is.
Hold that microphone close here. We don't want to miss a minute of this.
This is on right now?
Yes, sir.
All right, yeah. So this right here is a control tower. So this is like a piece of quartz, basically. Just smoke
Looks like we're gonna smoke some rock.
You know how people damn near, yeah, it's damn near probably do.
There's
I have no
torches
idea.
involved.
But like, you know how people normally have like a bucket.
What's the optimal heating temperature of this? When you put the rosin in there, what's the temperature you want to be at?
So
about
like
180,
even
200.
Even like when it comes to that type of shit, it's so like.
Depends
it just
which
really
one
depends.
it is. Huh?
Yeah, it depends like which one. It depends.
No,
like,
I
what
see
you
them
have
different
in it.
melting temperatures.
Yeah, so like something like this, so you can go real low. You can go like 500.
Rob just popped a couple painkillers.
Yeah,
He's
right.
slurring
Dude,
his words a little bit.
Struggling already.
No, I'm not. Let's just smoke some weed, man.
Okay.
Let's go. Look at this. Look at all this action to get this rig going
Yeah, see,
here.
this shit, like, this is like,
A lot of work.
yeah, it is a lot of work. But I do this shit a lot. You know what I mean? I go to a lot of events, so I'm used to breaking this shit down, setting it up pretty quick.
This is where I kind of lose interest on the setup with
takes-
all
how it
the
takes too
gadgets
much
and the
shit.
cleaning.
Yeah,
and the
because you're
It's a
bullshit.
bitch, dude. It's either you love it or you don't. It's like, you know what I mean? Like,
No, Trevor loves it. He just hates the fucking work.
yeah,
Fucking
well, that's the
lazy
thing.
Yeah, he
bastard.
wants
That's why
instant
most people are like,
gratification.
fuck it, give me the Puffco. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Give me some e-device or some
Yeah,
shit like that.
Puffco.
Trevor
Put
likes
the
to throw
rock
away
in and
shit.
smoke that bitch.
Yo, but like the hit off of this shit is just like it's different.
Yeah,
really
it
hits
fucks you
different.
up.
Yeah,
That's
it
what
fucks
it
you up.
brings
worth
And
it.
like
out.
when you're smoking like real good product, you know, like the
Dude, I
Puffco
get-
is fire. I love it, but it's just like I need to taste that.
I got
you
so
know,
high
that quartz.
off one of those hits the other day at Cranberry's house, I had to have a sugar cube at Mobile across the street.
Got to straighten up.
Yeah, that shit'll give you the
I was
sweats.
so high, I had
Yeah.
to go across the street.
Hell yeah. It's fucked up.
Yeah. But neon. Out the mud. Before I get it out the mud, I stay on top of my fitness and hit the shower, clean it up, and then get back to the business. I don't care about who did it, I ain't worried who didn't. I head directly to the back, so I'll be there in a minute. I got expensive taste. The rollie got a different face for surely. I be in them places they won't let you pass the gate. Posted up, sipping $1,000 scotches with the rock in it.
We got quick change over here. Lee's on it.
Yeah, we got a bad camera here.
The bad chip.
Yeah, we're still putting this show together, dude. Trying to hack
Yeah.
operation.
Oh,
Hey,
God.
I know, I
working
forgot my
for-
clown suit. I left
Everything
it at
is
home.
always a work in progress, bro. You know what I'm saying? Everything. Everything.
I forgot my hat.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you were talking all this shit about the hat. Talking all this shit about the hat. I ended up calling the hot hatter down there. That dude Logan that we met at fucking
No shit, he made you
Terrazzo.
one?
Remember he measured my
Yeah,
head down
yeah,
there?
yeah.
Is that the dude who makes hats like in a
Yeah,
truck?
that's the dude.
Let me see
No
that
way.
fucking thing.
That's the dude.
I've
It's a
seen
nice
this fucking
hat,
thing,
too.
dude.
Did he put like your flavor on there and shit like that?
Check that thing out, Ricky. You think I can go
That
to the
shit's nice.
Derby with that fucking thing?
I don't know what the. He probably
Hey,
should have put a few
Ricky,
more.
that's made out of beaver.
Hey, he probably
really?
should have put a few
Yeah.
more fucking crosses on that
What
fucking
part
thing.
of the
for you.
beaver, like the like?
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know if that's a
beaver
dumb
pelt,
question or,
the
like,
skin.
Okay.
Hey, what's
So I
up
say,
with
is it
the,
like the tail? I don't know.
I don't know either,
Good
but
for the hat, bad for the beaver.
Is
But-
any,
right.
any of this? What's up with the bowl?
I don't know. He put his touch on it. I just told him make me something. He put a joint holder in the back there,
Oh, I see that.
and then that pin is what pin he actually used to make the hat, and then he puts it on the hat somewhere.
Fucking,
Thank you, Logan. The hat looks dope.
Give a shout
The
out
hat
to
is very
Logan.
dope,
badass.
actually.
The hot hatter.
Now I want one. I'm getting one. I want it made out of specific parts of the beaver.
Little.
Specific.
You want a furry one?
Yes, I'd like a little patch.
Fur.
Yeah, you need that, dude. You're welcome.
Right? Right?
Your hat's backwards.
No, it's not.
I'm just fucking with you.
How is it though, Rick? A lot better now.
I fucking like it.
You were talking
That's
shit
way
about my
better than
hat.
that.
Well,
with
it
a hole
fucking
in
had
it.
a
You
hole
look
in
like
it.
an
The
orphan.
thing was dented like all kinds of fucking different ways.
I think he leaves the hat on when he's on the job.
My hat and my socks. That's it.
Running
But I-
around with little Winkleberg.
I think
But I'm gonna
hat
reel it
on.
back in. Episode 30. We're here with Xavier from Unicus Nurseries.
Yes, sir. How's it going?
Rosin extraordinaire, breeder,
Entrepreneur.
entrepreneur.
Yes, sir. I love it.
So what's your gig?
What is it?
Are you a grower?
Yeah, so I'm a grower, I'm a processor. Mainly though, like what I love doing is a bunch of pheno hunts. Like I just love doing pheno hunts. I love cracking seeds. I love trying to find like that new next flavor. You know what I mean?
Good luck with that.
Yeah,
It's hard.
It's fucking super hard, and it takes a lot of time. Not only is it hard, and it's all like a straight up gamble. Like it's never guaranteed. It takes a lot of time.
How old were you when you first started smoking weed?
There you go.
So I started smoking weed when I was like probably like
That's
12 years old. Probably like 12. Yeah.
That's usually the start.
Yeah,
I was 11.
I started like I smoked the first time like I was like I just turned 12. I really started smoking heavily though, and I was probably like 13, just chilling with like my friends and shit, and like middle school and stuff like that. And it wasn't anything that I even like really thought it was gonna lead into anything like this, you know. Like I was just smoking weed, hanging out.
Making a living out of this, are you?
Right now? Oh yeah, of course. I'm working for myself right now. It's hard. Definitely not easy. Obviously, every business owner will say that.
Where
but
do you see it going from here?
I mean,
From
shit,
where?
I couldn't
From
even.
where, Rob?
I couldn't. I mean, even
Jesus
from 5
Christ.
years ago.
You went from the first time you fucking started smoking weed to when you want to retire.
It's called paraphrase.
Holy shit.
It's like
There's some more information I think we need
Yeah,
to get out of
right.
these
No, we
guys
got a lot. We have this thing called editing, and we can go around.
Jesus Christ.
We got a
of
good
course.
editor over here.
First
Holy-
off-
But not like even in the past like 5 years, bro. Like honestly, I like I've always been super dedicated to what I've like to this specifically. But like I didn't know, in like 5 years ago, I was dreaming of being where I'm at right now. But I was also trying to put in the work at that time until now. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I'm kind of like now seeing a little bit of the fruits of my labor. As far as like doing the pheno hunts and like a lot of the projects I was working on on the low, but I wasn't really bringing them to the public, not really telling a lot of people about them. I just wanted to kind of like perfect what I was doing before I even told even like my friends that I was doing the shit. Like some of like the people in my family would know what I was doing, but like I'd probably say like 95% of my family didn't even know what I was doing.
Where do you find all these different strains at?
Like seeds?
Yeah.
So it's all over the world. I find seeds
You
all
get
over
them
the
from
world.
everywhere?
Yeah, I mean, I try to like in the past, like especially since I've been like expanding my like seed vault, because like I sell seeds wholesale and stuff. But since I've been like actually purchasing seeds like at like a higher volume, I've been trying to work with specifically people in the East Coast just to kind of like keep the love from around here. And also like I sell seeds to a lot of people who either grow indoors or outdoors. A lot of people grow outdoors though. So like if I was to buy seeds from a breeder that breeds out here in these climates, in the East Coast climates, it would be a lot better when I sell people seeds every season. Like right now, a bunch of people are buying seeds.
So you're climatizing the seeds at the same time? Is that what
Not
you're
me,
saying?
but the breeders. So like the breeder, like instead of me buying some seeds from the West Coast and they're acclimated to the climates out there and just like, their environment, I'm buying seeds from people out here that if people throw the seeds outside over here, those seeds are already acclimated to the
You
environment.
got a better
around
shot
here.
at it. What you're
Yeah,
saying.
like they won't stress out. It's not like throwing a gelato out here in the East Coast. It's not used to that shit. Or like an OG. You know what I mean? It's
They like
like it's
that
not used
dry.
to this environment. Yeah, it likes that dry, hot air. You know what I mean? We don't really have that. We maybe might get it. You know what I mean? A couple months out the year, but we need something that's ready for like that cold environment. Like
Right.
And humidity.
that could take the beating. Really, you know what I mean?
That's the toughest thing about growing up outside up in this area is the
it's
humidity
trash.
towards the end of the season. So you have to have quite the hardy strain.
Yeah,
to
it's hit
withstand,
or miss.
you know?
Yeah, it's really hit or miss out here. And even if you're a really good grower, it's like you have to. The seasons just fluctuate so much out here, like growing outdoors, that it's just like you basically have to try to get as many variables as you can out of the way. And starting off with the genetics, that's the biggest part. You know what I mean? Like if you have the right genetics, that's going to put you in the right direction growing outside. You know what I mean? Well, growing in general, but outside specifically.
So do you sell clones and stuff?
Yeah, I sell a lot of clones. I mostly sell clones because I do like a lot of pheno hunts. So like when people will see the hash at events or anything like that, people will be interested in home growers or facilities will then inquire for cuts at that point. But I do sell seeds, but mostly I sell clones. That's like my main thing.
I'm gonna take his hit first, and I'm gonna reel this thing back in here, Rob. You just.
Dude,
Rob
that thing's like
just did the Cliff Notes real quick.
that thing's like the Kentucky Derby. So much work goes into it for it to be over like that. Bam.
You're definitely not lying.
You know what I'm saying? All that work, even
Somebody give Rick another drink.
you know what I'm saying? I've been watching him. He's
it's
been
for
working
real.
on that thing for the past 15 minutes, then boom, it's
Just-
done.
yeah.
It's literally like the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah.
And I'm
Fucking
But you
weeks
know,
and
but-
shit and
But
fucking
when you
Rick
have
in
it
the
out
bedroom.
for a while,
and then it's fucking over like that. You go take a piss, you come back, you miss the fucking Derby.
yeah.
Yeah, over.
But the
Bro,
thing
it's only
is
4
like
furlongs.
instead, like if I wanted to smoke a blunt, right? Like if I would have got here, rolled up a blunt, that would have took some time. If I wanted to roll up another blunt, it would have took more time. Want to roll up another blunt, it took more time. You know what I'm saying? It would took like 10 times probably each time to break down the weed, roll up the blunt. With this, it'll take me like 10, 15 minutes to set it up.
Why
But
do we
once
need
it's
so
set
many
up,
blunts here?
I could fucking.
That's what I'm thinking.
How you doing?
Yeah,
Nah, like, everywhere I'm at, like I don't know.
Yeah.
I just be. It's just always
It
how
just
I've been.
happens.
Yeah,
There's a
it's
lot
just
of blunts going on.
yeah.
But with
Honestly,
the-
I kind of got off the blunts a little bit.
But
Rick,
with
I
a-
think we're gonna have a blunt today.
Oh, we're definitely gonna have a blunt today.
But
I
with-
brought some nice ones.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
But with when you roll up weed, though, I've rolled it up. It took me 10 minutes to roll up. I'm hitting this thing
Smoking
for
for like
like
a half an hour.
you know,
20 minutes.
15,
Call it
20
Everwood.
minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
this
true.
is one hit, then you got to get the alcohol out again, and then like
That's
now they
what
got
I'm
like
saying.
cleaning
This is
baskets I
insane.
seen.
I get so steamed off. I took one hit the other day. I was so high for like 3 hours. I had to go have a couple of sugar cubes at Mobile.
Yeah, yeah.
Cross some
It be
cranberries.
like that. It really do. Like
You got to build
it's,
up to
it's
that.
strong. Yeah.
I know you started smoking weed when you were 12, 13.
Mm-hmm.
When did it actually like start to become a reality? And have you tried
A business.
the legal market in Massachusetts? What led up to you getting into the legal market? Because I knew you worked at Suncrafted for a little bit.
The legal market. So
Rec market.
I got like even before.
Or leading up to that, leading up to the when you started before. What happened before you worked at Suncrafted?
So like as far as like even how I got into cannabis.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
even started
like-
getting into growing. How I started.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like.
A friend put you on, or
So like when I was like always like since a kid basically since I was probably like 12, 13, 14 like I had older cousins. All my older cousins had friends, so basically they were all like 7 years, 10 years older than me. So I didn't really have nobody around my age in my family. So I chilled around like a lot of older people. You know what I mean?
Older crowd.
A lot of dudes that like I skated and shit like that. So a lot of skater dudes. So
what skateboard?
yeah, I used to like skateboard
No
and
shit.
like that. Yeah,
I
so-
didn't have you pegged for a skateboarder.
yeah. Well, I mean, back in the day, yeah, I would definitely, you know what I'm saying, I'm rocking the fucking Vans and all that shit. But
Can you do an ollie?
I could definitely do an ollie. I can't do like no probably kickflip or no extra
I was
shit.
just
like
gonna
that.
ask
I was really never even like good like that. I was just decent. I was decent
People
enough
don't
to really
realize how
ride.
hard skateboarding really is.
Yeah, it's hard. Like I can't do no ramps and shit like that. I was never on that type of shit. You know, like
Hey,
I
Rick,
could
you
just
ever
I
try
could
a
just ride.
skateboard?
You know, I might go
Fuck
off a
no.
little curb. I'm not doing.
I'm
no
not
real
built
extra
like
shit.
that.
But I used to chill with a lot of skaters, a lot of just older people. So basically, how I got into the growing was just like from them. Like they would have like little like little garages and shit like that. And like I was smoking weed at the time, so like my cousins are like, yo, my little cousin, he be smoking. You fucking have him come over and fucking he'll
Word.
fucking defoliate for you. You know what I'm saying?
Is this
Give
when
him-
the lights
give
when
him
you
some
started
weed.
out with the high pressure
Yeah,
sodium?
this is like HPSs and shit, like straight up fucking orange rooms. I had no fucking glasses
Yeah.
on, you know what I mean? And I'm sitting under these like 1,000 watt fucking HPSs and shit, and I'm like defoling, and like I just like I don't know, I was probably like 13 and a half, almost 14 when I was in like my first grow, and like I was just helping doing plant work and shit like that, and then eventually like I started like doing stupid shit like helping them make edibles, like I was like wrapping chocolate bars
Yeah.
and shit, you know.
You were learning.
But I was just I was like learning a bunch of random shit at that time, like BHO extractions were like big at that time, so we were doing like some blasting and shit, some sketchy ass shit.
So you started learning around the older guys at a younger age, but not old enough where you could get your own place yet.
Yeah,
to
no,
grow your own plant. So
Nah, so-
when did that start? Your first.
So I'm from like a Portuguese household. My mom's Portuguese as hell. She was not with me growing. Like even smoking, like I was smoking for like since I was like 12. And even then she, you know what I'm saying, fucking give me chapada, all that fucking shit, you know what I mean? Get smacked up, whatever. But
So what's your
That shit don't
nationality?
matter.
Portuguese and Spanish?
Yeah, I'm Portuguese and Puerto Rican.
Yeah, he's from another New Bedford
Yeah.
cat. He's from New
God
Bedford.
damn.
Yeah, so basically, like, you know, like when
so
I
you
brought
grew
it
up
up to
fucking
her,
catching
like,
ass whoopings.
yeah, bro. So when I grew up,
You know
like,
about that.
and I was doing all that shit, and obviously I wasn't telling her. I was like in these grows and shit like that. I was young. I was smoking weed. I was getting like in trouble for it, but I was like, fuck that. You know what I mean? I'm just
So when you came home with eyes
And-
red, did you say you were going swimming or something like that?
dude. Hey, I
Because
used
Portuguese moms
every
are no fucking
thing
joke. You gotta
could
come up with some
imagine,
good ass
bro.
excuse so you
Everything,
catch an
bro.
ass whooping.
Everything to making myself look like a bitch. I was just crying.
Visine.
You know what I mean? Just arguing
Hey, a
with
lot
my
of
girlfriend.
a lot of polo.
I'm like 13. I was arguing with my
Dracar back
girlfriend
then,
and shit.
Dracar.
Yeah, I thought the eye drops would work. They kind of work, but I fucking stabbed myself in the eye more time than I really got the eye drop in my eye. You know what I'm saying? So
You got 'em in
I just
good.
stopped using that shit. So I basically just stopped faking it. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna get this ass beat every time.
X, when you first started getting packs, popping packs, did you order them? Who were the breeders that you got packs from?
So
Who were the-
like it was like random, like it was like taking a shot in the dark. It was like I think it was like Neptune Seed Bank, like legit
Old
sketchiest fucking place. It was like Seeds Here or seedsnow.com or some shit like that. Somebody told me about it. I'm like, nah, that sounds fake as fuck, but it worked. It worked
what was
every
the
time.
first strain you bought?
So I forget really the first beans that I bought, but I do remember like kind of the first ones that stuck out to me.
Okay.
Which were like the slime cookies. I grew a slime cookies, which was like a alien OG cross with I think it was like I forget. I think it was like White Widow or something like that. But that shit was really fire. It was a slime cookies.
Who bred that?
Something I have no idea. I forget. It was like way back in the day.
Well, it seems like today that, you know, everything's so diluted. There's like no real true old school strains.
Yeah, there's not. There's really not. It's all like hybrids, you know.
Because, you know, for a while
Unfortunately.
they tried to get the smell out of the weed. I don't know if you know what I mean. So it wouldn't be so skunky. Now they want it back in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but do you
Really?
think people in 20 years are gonna be the same thing that you are?
Think
Oh,
so?
there's no weed that was like from 20 years ago. You know what I mean? You're talking like 40 years by then.
No, they were literally trying to get this not to smell so skunky, and then now everybody wants a skunk now. You know what I mean?
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you used to have it, but now you can't find it. But now, what's the best stuff now? Then people in 20 years are going to be like, oh, I remember that strain. They don't
Good
even come out
analogy.
with it anymore.
Yeah.
Same thing.
You know what's
You know what I'm
crazy?
saying?
Yeah.
With
But
that
it's already
actually-
watered down from way back then.
Yeah.
Well, weed's come a long way, man.
I
The
know,
way they
but I'm just
grow
saying.
it and-
It's kind of like having fucking somebody really good, training somebody else, and then half-assed, and then a half-assed person trains fucking somebody else. It's only going to fucking diminish from there.
So when you try to come up with a new strain, you obviously make some seeds and go from there. Or?
So like so typically I don't breed. I'm not necessarily a breeder. I'm
Not
specifically a
pollinate,
pheno
nothing.
hunter.
You're just getting the seeds and crap.
So yeah, I crack the seeds. I buy seeds from people and I fucking crack a bunch of them and then I fine comb through them myself and I figure out what I like. Everything from the structure of the plant to how it roots, the root
You
ball.
really
the
look
vigor,
at it.
everything. I'm really looking at everything. And then obviously after everything checks out from the obviously, you know, the veg stage, I'll flower them, and after I flower them, if they got good terps and stuff like that, you know, I keep them. But I'm looking for terps. I really am looking for good terps.
You're
I'd
a
be
terp
lying,
guy?
but I'm looking for what I'm really looking for is trichomes. I'm looking for different. Like after I find a good growing plant, I find a plant that has good trichomes, and I do that because I make hash myself, obviously.
You're a hash
But like
guy.
I'm also like a big full melt guy. Like I love doing full melt. So like when I'm looking for trichomes, I'm looking for like obviously you know how people look at the structure of a plant. Like they want something that's, you know, not nice and sturdy, ideally kind of on the narrower side, not very wide, so you can pack a lot of plants, like a whole bunch of shit like that. But when I'm looking at a trichome, I'm looking at like how the stalk grows, how the stalk grows in ratio of the head. I'm looking at the oil to lipid ratio inside the head. You know what I mean? Like I'm looking for a lot of things like
That's
that.
how you determine what will be the best for the hash.
Yeah, basically.
Like, what's your best wash, basically, on percentage wise?
I mean, percentage wise, I mean, I've washed things like percentage wise, like from biomass, I'll get like upwards from 7%.
7%
on some strains.
That's
yeah.
pretty big.
Yeah, but see, this is the thing that like I've always told people when it comes to like percentages is like it's always a guesstimate. Exactly.
So if somebody leaves a lot of stems on there, their ratio is obviously going to be smaller because they got a lot of weight and
and
stems
it's
that's
skewed.
adding to it.
Yeah, it's that's
the
why
numbers
it's
all
that's
fucked
why
up.
it's never like exact, and a lot of people go from percentages, and I respect it because it's like a guesstimate.
Okay.
But like people pulling hash and giving me the percentage on how much hash you pulled, I don't really give a fuck because it could be a lot of lipids in there. It could be a lot of extra bullshit in your hash.
Could be
It could
fillers.
be plant material. Yeah, it could be if you're not washing your shit correctly, you'll probably have plant material. But like you could have a lot of lipids in your trichome. That'll also add up to, you know what I mean, a decent amount of shit. If you're pulling your material early, you'll probably have a lot more lipids than if you're not pulling your material early and you're
What's
going
a
full
lipid?
term. So the lipids in the trichome is basically like
In the globule,
I have no clue even what
like
that
the
is.
little stem that comes up and holds the liquid you're talking about.
The liquid?
like
No,
the
no,
trich-
lipid.
Lipid.
Yeah,
So
you said
yeah,
it's
so
in
like
the
a
trichome.
trichome.
Yeah,
you know
what the
how it
fuck are
looks
you
like-
talking about,
It
Rob?
looks like a
What's that?
stalk, and then it's got like a bulb. It's got like
Yeah.
a circle.
Bulbous.
So basically, like
Bulbous.
and then you know how if you look at it, it's got like the oil inside of it. You know what I mean? What's holding the oil inside of that trichome is a membrane, but it's a lipid. It's a fat. So that's what's basically keeping that oil inside.
So the lipids on the outside that surrounds the oil.
Exactly. So like what I'm looking for too is like I'm looking for low lipid to oil ratios. So I don't want a lot of lipids. That's fats basically. So like when I'm making full melt, if I have a lot of fats
Really?
inside that trichome, you'll see it. Like you know how like I just smoked straight hash, and it was very very obviously clear. It's because it didn't have a lot of like
Impurities.
fats in it, and not even impurities because it's not like it has plant material. It's just if it has high amounts of lipids in it, it'll burn different than if it won't. And not all strains will give you low lipid content on the trichomes, you know? So like when I like this strain, I mean this specific phenotype burnt cookies, it might not be the most like crazy terp profile, but the trichomes on it are premium and the oil is
Right.
premium. It has very, very low amounts of fats in this hash. Like it looks like rosin, just as it is. You know what I mean?
So what are you smoking when it after the wash before it gets pressed?
Yeah, before it gets put into the micron bags
Yeah.
to be squished out into rosin, that's what I'm smoking on. I'm smoking
So
on
they
the
call that
before.
hash.
This is just full, so it's full melt. So
Full
if
melt.
it could if it could melt, it's full melt. So hash and full melt is kind of like two different things, in my opinion. Because I mean, like, all right,
So it
so
comes out
it's
bubble
almost like
hash.
how a square could be a rectangle, but a rectangle can't be a square, right?
Right.
It's like full melt and hash are the same thing, but hash isn't necessarily full melt. Like full melt is that shit that burns real clear. Hash is like that brick hash. You know what I mean? Like that shit that, you know, it's finger
From trimming
hash or
weed.
something. Yeah, like that chakra shit that they do, like in
Temple ball.
temple ball type of shit, where it's like you can smoke it in a pipe, it'll get you zooted, but it's not really like very pure.
And that's like
hash.
dry sift, right?
It's
Essentially.
Like dry sift, yeah, that's like hash. Like full melt is like very, very high grade,
No
pure,
shit.
pure.
So full melts right when it comes out of the wash.
Full melt hash. Just the hash is when it comes out of the wash. The full
Bubble
melt,
hash.
the full melt is kind of just talking about the quality of the hash.
So full melt doesn't get pressed.
Full melt does not get pressed. No.
So they just collect after they collect it.
Yeah.
You put it in the freeze dryer.
No. After you collect it out the bags,
Yeah.
you put it in the freeze dryer. After you take it out the freeze dryer,
That's full
it?
melt.
that's it right there.
So that's what they consider full melt.
Yeah, that's full melt. But that like the full melt is like how you really tell like if you got good material on your hands, because you could squish out like some shit that's not good melt, but you could squish it out and it would be fire rosin. The melt is where you really put your quality on the line. You know, like if you got good full melt, that's the quality right
So you're
there.
saying you put your stuff like up against anybody
Nah, not up against everyone, because I know people who got really like fire shit. You know what I mean?
because of the strain, huh?
It's not common, you know. It's like I know homies that fucking kill it and make super fire full melt and stuff like that, but they just got the right phenotypes to make full melt.
They got the right strain.
Yeah,
Well,
not
strain
every
anyway,
phenotype
right?
will yeah, for the most part, yeah, the strain will definitely help you, but it's about even that phenotype, because you could even have like you could do a pheno hunt and have 100 of the same strain, but some of them might not be like, you know, might not have those trichomes compared to the next, you know, might not have those.
Everything's different.
Everything is different.
So the reason why you wanted to hand wash it, because you're talking about with a head and the stem, you don't want that to break apart from each other.
Yeah, well,
you want to keep that together, the stem and the head.
No, I want to knock the head off. That head. I want to knock just that head off of that
He doesn't
stem.
want
yeah.
the juice.
Yeah, so I just like when I'm doing the full melt and I'm
just want the oils.
agitating it, I'm just trying to knock the heads off. That's it. I'm not trying to do anything else, anything extra. If it doesn't want to fall off, I don't let it. And I'll agitate it for like 4 minutes. Like 4, maybe 5
And
minutes
that's
if
it?
it's a big wash. Yeah, really, really light, really like barely any fucking agitation and barely any amount of
When
time.
you do it that way, you get a better product than just beating
Yeah.
the thing to death.
Yeah, I'll get a
And
clean
obviously
product.
less stems and everything else, like as you were talking about
Yeah, I'll
before.
get
Like,
nothing, no stems off the trachs for the most part. And like that first pull when I pull that melt, that pull gets put under a microscope every single time.
so you a one-man army?
And
Do it all
compl-
yourself?
For the most part,
And completely different taste too.
yeah. So and also like when you pull later, like for the burnt cookies, for example, like if that sweet spot is at 9 weeks. This was actually pulled at 10 weeks, this melt. But if you pull at 10 weeks, it's super crazy for melt. But for terp wise, you pull it at 9 weeks and it's straight gassy, like skunk, gassy. But like right now, it's very doughy. It's very like not sweet, but very like doughy in a sense. You know what I mean? The terp changes a lot if you take it from 9 weeks to 10 weeks. And then if you pull it at 8 weeks, the hash will come out straight white, but it won't have that kick. You know, won't have that kick to it like I'd want, like that gassiness. It'll just almost be at that gassy point. But then if I bring it beyond 9 weeks, it'll kind of lose the gassy, but it'll create like a doughy. You know what I mean?
So you're out there in the market. We bumped into you at Terp Basel. We were fucking taking dabs and shit.
Of course.
Thank you.
So like back in the day, dudes used to just breed a pheno hunt. They were looking for smokable flower.
Yeah.
Like with you, are you just particularly looking for phenos for hash strains like now, or is that like a general consensus of all like the breeders across the country? Are most breeders and pheno hunting guys are people more in demand for a rosin strain or a hash strain than flower strain right now?
Yeah, that's kind
Is
of
that
just
how
what
you're
it
gonna
is.
stay
Like
relevant?
I also like. It's not really about the relative. It's not really about saying relative. I honestly just kind of like I just love hash. You know, I love hash myself and I love processing. So like I'm looking for stuff to grow for myself, and if other people enjoy it, then word. You know what I mean? Like all my cuts, I'm hunting them, so I'm looking for what I like. I kind of take what other people say into consideration as well too, for sure. But like
You wanna
I'm
see
growing
for
them,
yourself.
and I like I'm trying to like that's the whole point of pheno hunting. Like I'm trying to find the shit that I want to smoke. You know, like because I'm very picky. So like when it comes down to like selecting, I like selecting for hash because I like smoking hash a lot more. But I
So you
also
enjoy
love
the
flower
hunt.
too. But I'm very picky when it comes to flower. Like it's got to be like top notch flower. Like which obviously with the hash for the most part it always is kind of top notch.
So I got a question.
Got to be a quality pheno.
With all your knowledge and everything else like that, you mentioned earlier that, you know, I think Rob had mentioned is yours, obviously your stuff is fire because you think it's fire, you grow it. But you also mentioned in comparison to somebody else's, why isn't yours as good as theirs?
It's really not anything about what anyone's doing right or wrong, to be honest, or even our techniques. It's just it could be about our techniques. You know, I could be doing something or he could be doing something right or wrong that could be affecting our shit. But it's really just the phenotype that he has, because everything that I do is in house. So it's like I don't buy cuts from outsource. So it's like he might get a cut outsource that's fucking banging and like he processed it and it's fucking throws down like it should. Or he could go and crack seeds just like I do and he finds a banging pheno that is his own, you know? So it's
that's
like
the difference?
he could find a fucking banger and it's like I'll look at it and be like, this is you got one on your hands, you know? And like I'm a connoisseur before anything.
Do they
so,
share
like,
that with you though?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like that's the thing. Like I'm a connoisseur before anything, and like most of my homies and the people I put myself around are the same way, and we're not gatekeepers. So like if a homie got something fire, I'm like, dude, you got something fire on your hands, you know? Like, and they do the same thing, you know?
But you don't hear a lot of that because it seems like everybody's a gatekeeper in this
Yeah, because
industry.
people are fucking gatekeepers because they're all going. A lot of people are fakers, you know. A lot of people are like Yeah, they don't
They
really
say
put
they
the
got the
time in.
cut.
They don't put the time in and stuff like that, and they'd rather like shit on the next person to make themselves look better.
Well, that's what I see. Because like I said, I don't like I'm learning a lot on the show about weed and everything else. But what I'm learning is there is a lot of gatekeepers. Everybody has fire.
Yeah.
And to me, I feel like if you give it to somebody that just smokes weed because they feel like it's cool and stuff like that, they can't tell the difference between fire or any of that shit.
Yeah.
And that's why I think a lot of these people say they got this and that, and then you ask them for it, and then they can't present it.
Yeah, but that's also why in this
they
industry,
don't really have it.
But I think that's also why in this industry.
So they might be looking like a gatekeeper, but they just look. They're really just a poser.
Yeah,
that's fine,
I'm
but
gonna be honest though.
the other-
Like sometimes, I have not like let certain people or facilities have certain cuts, but it's not because I'm necessarily gatekeeping. It's because like I just feel like
It's worth more than what they want to give you.
not that in a sense, yeah, but also like I feel like they're just not a part of the culture. Like if I've went into facilities like they've really wanted cuts and they wanted to spend a bag on a cut, like a bag. And I'm just like, walk through the facility and I'm like, nah, I don't even want you guys to have this shit because I don't even want you guys to be producing this shit and put a bad name on it,
Right, right.
And it's nothing against what you guys got going on. It's just
'cause
like,
it's a
I just don't
one-time
want to
bag.
put that. Yeah. And it's like,
Well,
this is
obviously
the
it's
only
a-
one of this pheno. So it's like, if I give it out to everyone and their mom, everyone's going to be growing pounds of the shit and it's going to be worth nothing.
Well, it kind of seems like it is because they're running shit all fucked up. They don't want to.
And like the people who I gave it to, I really respect what they do. You know what I mean? Like they're good people, and I wouldn't gatekeep if someone's doing some fire shit. Like there's a couple homies out west in like Colorado and shit. Like I want them to run this shit just because they kill it. They grow fire fucking weed and they process really well. And I want them to grow these cuts because I want to see how it comes out somewhere else. You know what I mean? And I also just want to see their feedback. That's the only way I'd gatekeep. But when it comes down to like knowledge or anything,
I don't think that's gatekeeping. To me, I think gatekeeping is somebody came up to you and asked you for some knowledge, and you know it, and you don't share it. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's gatekeeping. Or I mean, if you want to keep some ingredients to yourself, right? Maybe because it's not kind of like you're saying, it's not finalized, and you feel like you haven't perfected it yet. That's something different, But in this industry, I just feel like it's like everybody's stepping on each other's dick.
yeah.
Wasn't that like
Yeah,
every
it's
other
true.
industry, Rick?
It is.
survival of the fittest. It's business.
No, you're right. You're right. I'm not hating on it. I'm just saying in general. I just think this industry's all fucked up with just because of the way they came out with it. That's what I have a problem with this
You got
industry.
a lot of the blind leading the blind going on because a lot of
It is.
people
Yeah,
charge.
and to me, it's
It's a
just
lot
like,
of the people
just
with
the way
money,
everything we talk about on every show, the way it all came out, the way they hold back money to help people get off. To me, I feel like, you know what? You want to like everybody compares it to liquor, but it's not even fucking close, right? Because liquor came out differently. And, even go a little further with, people know. Like, obviously, I don't know shit about fucking weed, so I'm going to tell you what's fucking good and what's not. But you know what? But alcohol is so far ahead because people know what's good shit. If you're talking about whiskey and, bourbons and all that, people know what's good shit.
Scotches.
Wines and all that shit. I mean,
Scotches.
I couldn't tell you the difference between a fucking $3 fucking bottle of Colorasi and something fucking $1,000 bottle of wine.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's a lot more of that in the weed industry. Right, because everybody just fucking smokes to get high.
There's a
They go
lot
to
of
the fucking
Carlo
local
Rossi
dispensary
getting
because
kicked
it's
around.
convenient,
Merlot.
and they're smoking absolute trash. I was at a cookout
Yeah.
today, and people are like, I just go here, I go there. I was like, do you know what you're smoking? Yeah, I like it because it fucking gets me high.
People get so offended too when you
Right.
tell them that shit. And like, bro, like I try to tell so many people like
They don't believe it.
they really don't. They don't believe me. And like I almost feel like, you know what it is? I feel like when I tell these people, they almost think it's like they're like, oh, it's because he wants my money instead. You know what I mean? Like that, like I'm trying
That's
to like
exactly it.
misdirect them, and I'm like, yo, don't go there because like come over here. And it's like, no, like I'm just telling you
Listen,
that
60,
they're doing bad shit, bro. Like you don't want to be a part of that. You know, you don't want to be smoking that shit. Like
I
I would
think
not
60
want. I would not want to smoke the shit myself.
I think 60% of the fucking operators, or not 60% of the operators, but let's just say at least 60% of the product, or maybe even 70% of the flour that's on the market is fucking sprayed with something or another. Why it's in flour. It's all tainted product.
Dude,
Junk.
I've seen.
That's what I'm saying. But you know what? But you have that same percentage of people that are going to stick with it, and you know what? It's tough to grab them. So to me, it's like if you're starting a business with
Yeah,
good shit.
But if
you
you
know-
told 50% of them people, be like, yo, that's like drinking natty ice.
Ugh.
Be like, you're drinking the natty
Yeah,
ice
but
of weed.
that brings me to my point earlier.
What would they say? They would probably put the thing down and be like, I don't drink natty ice.
No, because guess what? The people that's what I'm talking about. Alcohol's been out for so long. People that buying that are because they fucking can only afford the fucking $12 fucking 30 rack. All of you in this room know your shit, but fucking 80% of fucking people smoking weed fucking don't know their shit.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are fucking posers that fucking smoke weed because they're like, oh,
and then everybody gets offended
because it's fucking high. And then you give them some good shit like, oh, wow. But then you give them some fucking bad shit tomorrow because they're smoking with fucking other people like, oh, yeah, this is good too. They don't fucking know.
They don't give a fuck.
You know what I mean? Nobody fucking knows. That's the problem in this industry. Nobody knows. But the fucking people that drink know what the fuck they're drinking. And in the end, you can say, well, you're getting fucked up anyways. Yeah, you're right. But at least they know they're getting fucked up on a fucking $3 bottle of fucking
Yeah, but then when you're
$3 bottle
miserable
of
and
fucking
it puts
booze.
you in a shitty mood because it's got all sorts of pesticides on it and fungicides and fucking you're smoking chemicals.
Start having respiratory problems.
That's what I'm saying.
People will smoke this, and this is the biggest thing that I have a problem with because like I'm also like a patient. Like I use this shit for medicine. Like seriously. Like and I look at cannabis as medicine, and people are going to these places and looking for medicine, and they're getting literally hazardous product. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
and the people that are supposed to be regulating aren't fucking doing shit
Yeah, and
about
they
it.
don't care.
And they're not
They're just
gonna
looking
for
at
a
it
long
like for
fucking time.
money,
That's why
you know?
this fucking industry makes no sense right now.
Yeah.
It's like, to me, answer this. Why the fuck would I want to invest in this industry right now? Other than the passion that you guys, and I'm not disrespecting everybody that's investing in it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying in general, right? I got fucking extra money to burn, and I want to fucking invest in it because I know that eventually you can make money in this industry. Why the fuck do I want to throw my money in this industry right now?
don't.
I wouldn't do
I
it.
mean,
So how does it grow?
But the thing is,
But
bro,
how does
is
it
like
grow?
you have to do it if you love it. You know what I mean? Like
No, right.
and this is a thing. That's actually like a great fucking point because like right now the market is so trash. Like even finding a place to grow, like a facility or a building or anything, is fucking hard. It's a lot of money. The startups and the licenses that you probably have to pull is crazy. And then it's like when you actually do all this shit, get into the market, then what? You're selling fucking good mid grade packs for a stack, $800,
Right.
because you have to, because the market is fucking trash. You know what I mean? It's like it's not worth it if you're a money person.
You spit some numbers
But
out.
if you love doing this shit, bro, you're gonna do it. And right now, this is the thing about this shit is like if you love doing this shit right now, and then in the next 5 to 10 years, probably not even 10 years, I probably expect like more 5 years, is when you're gonna shine the most, because a lot of these guys that got into cannabis solely for the reason just for making money, those guys are gonna back out because they're not making bread no more. So like the guys who really love what they do and they've been doing the best shit that they can possibly do this whole time, they're gonna stay in the race if they actually love it. The dudes who don't really give a fuck and they just want to throw their money, they're gonna back out. So and then in 5 years, all those producers who stayed in it because they truly loved it and they did it for a reason, not just for just for the cash, they're gonna be up there.
And I
They're gonna
believe
stay in
that,
the game.
but the only problem with that is how many of these guys that love it, right, got a family that they have to feed and they can't stay in the business long enough because they can't feed their fucking family.
Dude.
So how much good shit is actually not gonna make the fucking market because they couldn't fucking keep up?
You know what it is, unfortunately, too, bro? It's like, so there's a lot of guys.
So you need
like,
the fucking
there's
guy
a lot
with
of
money a
guys
little
too
bit.
who grow a lot of packs and like they can't even get rid of them. So it's like a lot of these growers, like they'll grow 100 packs, 200 packs, but it's like they can't even get rid of them, and that's why they're falling back on their bills, and then they have to sell the packs for so cheap. It's like
That's my point. So
don't
you
have a
have
choice.
But
so
it's
you
like-
have a lot of good shit
the
mixed
reason why
in
they're
all
doing
with
that
all this
though is
fucking
because
trash.
the market is so saturated.
Yes.
Like everyone is racing to the bottom because now think about it. Like if you have a cut of apple fritter, and you have a cut of apple fritter, and you have a cut of apple fritter, you guys are all growing them within the nearest 50 miles, even 100 miles. People go travel hundreds of miles. If you guys are in the next 100 miles away from each other and you guys are all pumping out 100 pounds of the same flavor, and you hear that you are doing it cheaper than him, he's going to do it cheaper than you, and then you're going to do it cheaper than them.
Everybody loses.
And then now that's how the market has gotten to where it's
Right.
gone. But it's only gotten to that point because it's oversaturated with the same shit. That's why I do what I do, and I can put the price on what I do because you can't find it elsewhere. So it's like people know that they can only get this burnt cookies from me and 2 other people.
you were talking about, the costs, how much it costs to get into the rec market in Massachusetts. You got to get a building, the real estate. Then, as we've talked to people on this show, the black market kind of pushes the rec market because that's where they get all the strains from. Like the people like you and people that come out and do all these mixes with strains, and then these guys jump on the coattails of the black market strains and try to push them through their establishment. Mm-hmm. But for somebody like you, you're so priced out that you can't get into it. So all these wannabe guys, they come in and they just dick ride the next person and then just buy the same strain that everybody else is growing, and then devaluing the whole fucking market.
Yeah. People don't want to pay people like me in this industry, especially
that's
people,
the other thing.
Yeah, people don't want to pay people and not for nothing, they don't want to pay people who look like me in this industry. You feel me? So it's
if you had purple hair, you might have got
if I got purple hair, bro, and I fucking I'm not even gonna get into it. But if I was, this industry is just it's corporate. The corporate side is always gonna be the corporate side, but the legacy end will always win. And the costs in mass, bro, are crazy. Like that's why I actually went up north and I opened up a grow up north, is because
Maine.
Yeah, up in Maine, because it's just too crazy.
You got all licensed up in Maine?
Yeah, I'm actually up and pumping out in Maine. Yeah.
On the medical market.
Yeah.
Oh no shit! So that's where you moved your operations now?
Yeah. I got I'm actually doing a lot of pheno hunts out there, and I'm doing a lot of flowering out there and shit like that. Not a lot of flowering, but a lot of testing and shit like that. Out here in Mass is essentially where I just have my nursery. I'm just doing hemp out here.
Is for strains right now, you think a lot of people are on the hunt for hash strains more than flower strains than ever?
Oh, yeah. So people are definitely looking for hash strains, but I feel like facilities, I'm going to be honest, even though everyone's on the hash wave, I feel like most facilities that I walk into, especially these big facilities, these guys are still kind of scared to run whole, because they try to plant rooms into hash, So it's people at scale, I feel do kind of want also flower strains too, but for the most part, a lot of the home growers and a lot of the smaller growers, or if they're specifically hash makers and they also have a grow obviously that want hash.
So in Maine, are you outdoor too?
No.
All indoor?
Yeah, I'm just
What do you
indoor.
think about the outdoor hash thing?
Outdoor fucking hash is beautiful if it's grown correctly, which is hard out here in New England.
Humidity and the rain.
Yeah, it's just it's hard quality wise for the flower, but outdoors for the trikes is amazing. It's the best.
Is it?
Yeah, it's one of those things growing with an artificial light opposed to the sun. That is one thing that is unmatched for sure. Thank you.
Oh yeah, check that
Is there
thing
an
out.
ashtray as well?
Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah, what is this, dude?
That's the first guest we had on the show of mine, Dunk Spraying out in Cali with the hash holes.
Nice.
Yeah, he made that. He sent us a couple of those.
Cool.
It is crazy. I wish I fucking knew. I would have put some hash in here. Would have lit this shit with the hash hole joint.
What's the average cost of this full melt? For people to buy it these days?
I'm gonna be honest, that's a hard question to really even answer, because I guess it would just really
different
depend.
strains,
Depends
different
where
prices.
You're from. Around here in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Massachusetts, you're probably for real 6-star, you're paying $140 for a 2-gram bucket.
Wow.
Or,
that sounds. But it takes a lot to make it too.
Yeah, and it's very limited too. Just I was telling you before, it's an agitation for a couple minutes. It's
Really?
not even. Yeah, it's barely an agitation.
Is that why they always sell out of it?
What is it?
That's why all these
Yeah, it
people
sells
sell
out pretty
of it.
quick because it's
You can only
not
make
a
so
lot of-
much.
Yeah, it's a very small percentage of the yield for the most part.
So this is the little glitch in the industry that you like.
Yeah, it just doing pheno hunts and stuff like that. It just keeps things new. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
It's always you're always looking forward to something new, learning something new, finding something new. So it just keeps everything fresh. And a lot of people have jobs where they just walk into their job and they do the same thing every fucking day, and then they end up.
Oh, it's
hating.
nice to do different shit.
Yeah, I like, even though I'm doing kind of the same shit, same but different. You know what I'm saying? It's
You must have popped so many damn seeds.
Yeah, I crack hundreds of seeds like a month.
Hundreds.
So the size of the micron of the bag doesn't really necessarily mean a grade.
For the most part, it does, but it's really based on the phenotype, in my opinion. Like most people will pull like a 73 or 90 for their first pull, but some people will pull a 120. You know, like it really just depends on that strain.
You were right though. By the time you roll the blunt and you get that contraption going, it's kind of similar time. But you did roll a big fucking blunt.
Yeah, that's the only way to roll a blunt.
So
Trevor rolls pinners over there.
fuck you.
Is that what you call them? Little thin ones?
Yeah. So
Little fucking cigarellos.
full melts like right when it comes off. That's like the first smokable thing after the wash, right?
Yeah, it's like the most premium heads right there.
What's the next? Because isn't there what's that? Cold cure, a fresh press?
So
what's
like
the difference?
after you would pull like your first pull, that would be your melt. After that's collected, typically I would just put it in the machine from there. You know, I'd put it in the machine and I would let that rip, and I would basically collect that.
So full melt. So what's cold cure and fresh press? What's that? Because I'm just trying to understand this. I hear all these fucking lingos.
So
get
it's
thrown
basically all
around.
the same. You know, it's not the same, but it's all the same oil. So like, the fresh press is like if you was to take your hash out, you know, bag it up into your bags, your micron bags, and then squish it. That fresh press shit. So there's a specific way that you get fresh press every single trip, and it's you put your hash bags inside of a a vacuum seal bag, and you vacuum seal the shit out of it, get all the air out of the bags, and it'll basically just take all the air out of in between the hash. Then when you go to press it, there'll be no air in between the hash, and you won't get air pockets inside the rosin as it's coming
So it's more
off the
dense.
plates, and you won't have air inside the oil to make it nucleate, so it'll stay as a fresh press. You know what I mean? So it'll stay as like a stable oil.
So then I got another. This could be a stupid question, but when they do that, so you're into the full melt.
Yeah.
So that has like very minimal amount of lipids, and that considers it premium. Does the lipids do something to the flavor or something? Or
Yeah,
the fat?
you'll be able to taste it. Like you'll be able to burn it too. It's almost like you know how if you used to have a steak when you burn it, like the fats burn on it.
gristle?
That's what it'll do to like your banger basically, and you'll be
shit.
able to taste it. Like when those fats burn, you'll be able to
They
taste a little
different?
the fats. Yeah, and it'll taste like not like bad, but it won't taste necessarily good. You know what I mean? Like you could taste it. You know, when you smoke 6 Star and there's barely any fats in it, and you just trace.
You think we could get a
taste
hit of
straight
that?
up oil? This shit, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah, and you fucking just straight up.
That's your flour. I want to taste it.
No, it's actually not my flour.
Oh,
no,
okay.
it's not.
What's the strain?
It's garlic breath.
Garlic
Yeah.
breath?
Yeah, it's from one of
you
the
got any
homies'
pasta to
gardens
go with
up
that?
north. I fucking so a lot like pretty much all my gardens go straight to rosin. For the
Rob
most
wants some
part.
pasta
Everything.
with that.
Pretty much most of it. Yeah, I'll maybe keep some for the like some flour for the head, but like
Good.
everything goes to
Smooth.
rosin for the most part.
That's smooth. What do you roll with a Dutch?
No, these are actually Brothers Broadleafs. These things right here. The Brothers
are those like a
Broadleafs.
wood?
Yeah, they're like a wood, but like after you unroll it, this is what's left. It's
A little
another.
harsh.
It's another leaf. It's a
No
whole other
shit.
leaf.
Like the game.
Can I get one of
Kinda-
them?
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, these are fire. They come here. It comes in a 20 pack. It's a
Make
bag.
sure you
comes in a
fill it.
bag. It's a 20 pack.
I think I seen. Were these guys in Turp Basel?
Yeah.
Him and his
Yeah,
brother?
Yeah.
I talked to
I
him
met
for a
them.
second.
I met them there. I didn't get those from them, but my homie sells those around here, and they're honestly not easy to get, to be honest with you.
Was
But
that
my
your-
homie has a smoke shop. He buys a fuck ton of them.
So it's full melt, then it's fucking fresh press, then it's cold cure. These are the different stages it is after the wash.
Yeah.
Can you put the
It's like
rosin in a
it's like
pen?
little E. Yeah, that's basically what I was just talking about. Yeah.
Really?
Like if I'm on the go, I'll have like the Puffco pivot or something like that, and I'll just pack
You
it
can
up.
heat it up and stuff like that, Or
How is
Not
the
even,
pivot?
bro. You literally just fucking like if this was the top of the pivot, it has like a little opening. You literally just scoop it in there, fucking close the cap.
No
press
shit.
the button 2 times.
How is the
and
pivot though?
go ready to go? What is it?
How is the pivot?
It's good, no cap. Like I've had every fucking Puffco product they've came out with since the V1 Puffco Peak. I've had every version of the
Like I
Peak.
like the proxy, but all the rosin gets in there and all the shit.
Yeah.
It's like
The proxy.
I heard this pivot's wicked easy to clean. There's like no chamber.
better,
It's
yeah.
like no.
It's way better, dude.
Is the
orifices.
pivot like that small little Keurig that dude was selling?
No, it's like a little pen looking thing. I was gonna bring it. I wish I brought it. But it's like a little
Not that
pen looking
big.
thing. Yeah, it's
Like the
relatively
size
cheap
of
too.
mine's lighter or whatever,
Yeah, legit.
right?
Yeah,
Obviously
it's probably like a
rechargeable.
little bit shorter. It's probably like
Yeah.
like this,
Yeah.
but it's mad convenient. You know, and you just fucking hit the
Look
button.
at Almond.
And when
is
did you get
lighter.
into rosin as far as over
see that thing?
flour?
Thing's off.
So honestly, it was kind of out of nowhere, but like
Fillable,
I,
right?
so I started making rosin even before I was making hash rosin. Like I was
you can
making
change
flower
the,
rosin. Like I was growing weed and
On the
then
bottom with your
fucking
fingernail.
putting it in micron bags and
twist it high
squishing it
low.
out
This one?
like just as flour.
Oh, this
And,
is
like,
awesome.
I didn't know about like some shit squish as well, some shit doesn't. You know what I mean? Like as far as like washing, it's kind of like the same thing. Like some strains don't perform, and I didn't know that, so I was just over there squishing whatever because like I was smoking hydrocarbon at the time, and just the thought of me squishing out this flour and then smoking that as a dab instead of smoking some shatter. Back in the day, you'd fucking hit a fucking 800-degree dab and put the dab on the banger, shit would fucking catch on fire because there's mad solvent still in it, and like, you know what I mean? It was like shit like that was like going around and stuff. So it's like me just knowing that, yo, I just took this flour and squished it into some dabs, I called it. I was just like, word, fucking, that's way better for me. It tastes better, it tastes like flour. I'm getting the flour high. I loved it. And then so I used to take all that material and go to a smoke shop in Tiverton, where they used to have a press, and if you fucking had a med card, you just go over there and squish out. So I used to go over there and I used to squish everything and fucking
Press it up.
yeah, squish the flour rosin, and then eventually like
That's dope.
the homie Jack
That in
that worked
Tiverton?
there. Yeah, Tiverton, yeah.
Right over the line.
Yeah, underground culture. That's the
Yeah.
homies over
Ain't that
there.
the one that's
shit,
right
they
before,
hook people up like that.
Yeah, it's the homies, dude. That's the homies. They're good people, bro. I was buying glasses. That was like probably one of the first heady glass shops I was buying shit from back in the day.
Is that the one
shit
that's
they
on the
had-
way to Market Basket over there? It's like
no idea.
close to Market Basket.
But they're
Going up
dope
South
people,
Main
bro.
Street. You're going up South Main Street in Fall River, and you go up to the right there. And
Yeah. The one in Tiverton that I'm thinking of, they were like higher. It was like when weed first came out. They were like one of the first shops that opened. They were like
Not a
annihilating
problem here.
it. They had like police details there like every day. I was like, that's the dude that made the money on this.
Is that Rob?
Yeah, but yo, that dude Mike, when I was at, when I would go there and I would squish, Mike, I'm sorry, Mike is the owner. That's why I just thought of him. But the homie Jack that used to work there, when I used to press and shit like that, I remember him telling me, I'm like, yo, like I be pressing this fucking flour and like it doesn't come out like as clear as I be seeing other people's shit come out. You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I doing wrong? He's like, bro, you gotta make ice water hash. I'm like, what? Like, what the fuck is that? He's like, bro, look it up. Ice water hash, mad easy. I was like, word. So, and then I was like, all right, I'm gonna go home. I looked it up and it was just like, I was like, you do what? You put your weed in water? Bro, I'm not doing that shit. Like, I'm not taking my weed and putting that shit in fucking water and then stirring that shit around and hoping I get some shit. I was like, there's no way.
Yeah,
But then
right?
after like, you know, like maybe like a couple months of me knowing, like, talking to homies like, yo, your ice water hash, yeah, that's the old school shit. And like I started figuring out like people around me were doing it, but it was like not really good. It was like people from back in the day, you know what I'm saying? Older people or something. And then
Yeah, I knew a guy from New
Yeah.
Bedford, Timmy G. He taught me how to ice water hash in like 03.
yeah, dude. And then I started getting into it with dry material. Like I would just grab packs and then I was like, yo, this shit has like mad like sand at the bottom of the bag, like mad trikes. I was like, I'm gonna fucking wash this. And then eventually I started washing that shit and then it would, work. I'm like, yo, this shit, I got some rosin. It wasn't like the craziest shit, but it was good. It was good enough. I was smoking the fuck out of it. And then from there, I was like, you know what? The shit that I grow, I'm making that shit into rosin. Like, fuck that. I'm not even smoking
that
the
was
flower
it.
no more. And then I just started making that shit into rosin. And then at first I was drying it because I didn't know about live material and stuff like that. So I was just drying the weed out and then washing it. You know what I mean?
Learn
and
as you go.
Now, what is it?
Learn as you go.
Oh yeah, 100%. And then, bro, I fucking eventually like I had the homie tell me about like fresh frozen and shit like that. I was like, yo, you just chop it live and you throw it in there. And he was like, yeah, it's already wet, bro. Like and I'm like, yo, that makes mad sense. And then I just started fucking collecting that shit fresh frozen, and it was basically a wrap from there. And I got a lot of like those tips from a dude I was working with in a hydrocarbon lab. It was my first job in the industry. Some dude Ryan. He was like, dude, he was nice with the hash, and this dude was making hash with like bare bones fucking shit, dude. He was that guy that would like shit on presses, like I don't fucking use one of those presses. I use a fucking hair straightener, and like he would use a hair straightener, bro, and I'd be like, this fucking guy, dude. He showed me his rosin, fire, like some of the best shit I was seeing at the time. And
like
I was
old
like,
moonshine.
I was like, all right, bro, shit, you fucking tell me what to do then, fucking, you know what I mean? And he would tell me exactly what to do. He gave me even like these little fucking the first bags that I ever had was these little 1 gallon bags, bro. What the fuck am I gonna do with that? But he was like, yo, just do a little wash at home and like use these 1 gallons. And I was like, all right, and fucking did that shit, and like, yeah, just kept on going from there and spinning off and getting knowledge from everyone that I come across, you know.
Now you made it into something.
Made it into something I like to believe after all this time.
I think our battery's rocking low. I'm gonna take this hit, dude.
Yeah, bro, let's take this hit.
Wrap this thing up.
Fuck
Rob,
yeah,
you got anything else left on this?
I learned a lot today about this. It's so much more to it than you can even imagine.
Yeah, there really is, dude.
Full melt. That's the first time I've heard that word.
Yeah, and
Other than on
like,
the
even
panini.
besides doing all the pheno hunt stuff, like I'm a nursery, so like I sell genetics and stuff like that. But like my main thing is propagation, and like the next journey that I've already been kind of like embarking in is tissue culture and stuff like that. So like I'm kind of like obsessed with that shit. Like,
well, you definitely sound knowledgeable, and you know what you're talking about, and you got a passion for it, man.
Yeah,
you know, it's gonna get better and better.
100%. That's why I hope. You know,
Where do you see this going?
Honestly, like I said before, like
Great
if
time to ask
5
that
years
question.
ago, bro, like I didn't even think I would be here doing like this type of shit. You know, like I knew I was gonna try. Like I swear to God, bro, like one of my like childhood homies growing up, Colin, I used to tell him like when I was in the 2x4, I swear to God, I used to tell this kid all the time. I was like, bro, I'm gonna grow the best weed ever, bro. Watch, like one day I'm gonna grow shit that people are gonna like want to come see me for. You know what I mean?
That's the shit you want.
I didn't know I would be actually almost there, you know, like I
you're
travel
right there,
places,
man.
and people, when I do pop-ups, people come and see me, you know, people like, yo, I've been hearing about you. So it's like hearing that shit is like really crazy, you know, like,
Is that where you get most of your customers?
no, I mean, like I've just been kind of doing this, like,
Do you want to give a shout out to anybody, any of your homies?
Dude, fucking, there's a bunch of people to shout out. I almost don't even want to shout out people. I feel like I'm gonna leave some people out, and then
All right, I hear you.
But
Just say hi
there's
to
a
the
bunch
crew.
there's a bunch of people though, especially like big people, obviously, like my sister and stuff like that, my girl. Big shout out to my girl. My girl fucking does a fuck ton for me, so I can even make this shit like possible, you know what I mean?
Good for you, man.
But like my family and shit like that, like my sister helps me a lot in what I do. I got a couple really, really good homies too that like help me in the garden and stuff like that, and like shit like that comes a long fucking way, because I wouldn't be able to do this shit alone.
So when do you see yourself up in Maine operating?
I'm already out there operating. I'm just back and forth.
Oh, you're going back and forth?
Yeah, dude. I'm fucking driving fucking.
Can we check out the
hundreds
facility
of
when we're
hours.
in Maine?
Yeah, it's not nothing crazy, to be honest with you. But it's something that you'll see some fire in, to say the least.
We like to see fire.
Yeah, and it's not anything like huge, but when I got like some cool shit to look at, like as far as the phenos, like I'm coming through right now. Yeah, you guys can definitely come and check it out and stuff like that.
So
And
basically, you're going to be like a craft beer kind of thing. Is that
yeah,
the
like I'm
idea?
really going for craft shit, dude. Like I'm not really trying to be out here pushing fucking thousands of packs to the public. Like I just want to find really good genetics. I want to sell genetics like a motherfucker. I'll tell you that, you know. But I'm not out here trying to like mass produce packs or mass produce rosin.
Yeah.
Or hash. I'm just doing what I can do to the
Try
best
and make
extent.
it the best you can.
Yeah, just make it the best I can. And like I want to get a lot of genetics though to facilities, and I want to get people really good quality genetics that push out fire end product, but also have it be like very, very clean genetics, you know, like virus free, viroid free, no type of pythiums or none of those
Yeah, but still
weird
at the
shits.
same time, man, you got to earn.
You just got to make sure you're doing the right shit, bro. And
Well, when you have grow the best weed and you make the best products, you're
That's you.
gonna be the money will come.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like if you just build a good name, the money will come. Like just dump money into it, but you know.
Yeah, but
like,
the
do your
money is
thing.
important.
Yeah, you got to make your chicken. Keep
Everybody
the bills
needs
on.
their ends.
Yeah, you gotta keep the lights on and shit. Keep your bills paid.
Awesome.
sure.
Well, we really appreciate you coming on the show, and we want to see this big hit here.
Oh yeah, let's get it.
Yeah, he wants
This
to
is
be
about to be
simply
ready.
lifted.
Yeah, we want some fucking
I had to
strains.
heat the shit up a couple times.
Yeah, I'm ready to go whenever you want.
This is like 14 of your pinners in one shot.
The full
brain's
melt.
gonna
This is
fully
also
melt.
taken a full 10 weeks too, so it was not chopped early. Real full term, full
This guy is
melt.
proud of his rosin.
Yeah.
When you do something and you don't
Jesus
put your
Christ,
best
dude.
foot forward, you always lose.
So start spinning. Yeah.
Oh my God, you're gonna cough. Oh boy. That is a pretty cool unit.
Rob, hit
But you
that
see
thing.
No
how,
way.
You seen how
No
it's very
way.
clear?
All the
It was
oil.
like 550. I would have given it to him like 500. I don't want him to wait too long.
Man, I wouldn't be able to drive if I took a hit of that.
No?
Somebody's gonna DoorDash fucking Trevor
That's a
along.
wrap. Episode 30.
How you doing?
Yeah.
Look at Hoover over here with his iron lung
Yeah,
he's gonna need.
Trevor needs a lung on the black market, though.
I never learned a lot about that stuff today.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Wake up in the morning, got a bag on my schedule. Niggas talking, bitches talking, they is not on my level. Check the time, wrist, rolly, rose gold on the bezel. Grab my keys and get my cell and hit the door with a shovel. It's time to get it out the mud, 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 out the mud. It's time to get it.